Yo, what's up, world? Happy Monday. Thank God we made it through the weekend. Thank God we made it to another week. All right. Now, today is Monday Vibes, episode 10. And the title of today's episode is Can Money Buy You Happiness? All right. Now, I know that some of y'all are already like, heck yeah, what's he talking about? Of course, money can buy me happiness. Right? And I'm not even mad at you because, I get it. I get it. Trust me, I do. You see, all of our lives, we've been taught that, oh, if I was rich and I had $1 million in the bank, that I would be so happy. And I could just go off and ride off into the sunset and just live happily ever after. Right? Happily ever after. Now, you know where else I've heard that? I think I've heard that before. Happily ever after. You know where else I heard that? In fairy tales. Right? Because the truth of the matter is that no matter what financial or social status you're in, you will always have problems and stresses in your life. Okay? See, for example, when you're broke, you're stressing about not having enough money, right? When you're rich, you're worried about everybody else trying to take your money, right? So there's stress on both sides of the spectrum, right? Also, if your life is solely based on just getting money and reaching the highest status possible, then you will never truly be happy. Okay? There's a saying that a poor man wants to be rich, a rich man wants to be king, and a king wants to rule the world. Right? You see, it never stops. There's always another goal and always another level to get to. Right? I always think back to being a kid, for example, right? And remember when you get that brand new toy? Sure, for the first week, that's the best toy in the world. But once that kid sees a newer toy that's bigger and better, now his or her happiness is based on getting that next toy, right? It's human nature, okay? See, the reason that people put money on such a high pedestal is because we believe that money can solve all our problems and wipe away all of our stresses and worries, right? Okay, yes, money can solve some of your problems, but not all of them, okay? In fact, money can actually bring you more problems, okay? In fact, there's a quote. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this quote before. It goes, "More money, more problems." Okay. In fact, the late great Biggie Smalls had a song called "More Money, More Problems," and the chorus or the hook was, "I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see," which is so true. Because, see, with money and success comes more problems, right? Problems like envy, jealousy, fake friends, money hungry men and money hungry women trying to trap you for child support, etc., right? And further, money doesn't hide your character flaws, okay? They say that money usually actually amplifies your vices, right? So here's, for example, let's say you're an alcoholic, right? Once you get money, you're going to be an alcoholic times 10. If you're a womanizer or a cheater, once you get the bag, you're going to be a womanizer times 10, right? Same thing for a gambler or drug addict. Whatever you can afford with that little money, once you get that money, now you can afford 10 times the drugs, right? Which brings another problem because now you got to worry about overdosing, right? Finally, if you're a nasty or a mean person, right? Once you get that bag and get that all that money, that pride and that narcissism is not going to go through the roof, right? So, what's the solution? I've come up with 3 ways to help us all find happiness no matter how much money you have. Okay? You ready? Let's go. Number 1, recognize the things in your life that are priceless. You know, I used to love, there was this MasterCard commercial, right? And basically, the theme of the commercial was some things are priceless, right? So what'll basically happen, simple concept of this commercial is There'll be a rich guy wearing a suit. He'll be walking, and then you'll see on the screen. They'll say, all right, luxury shoes, $200, right? It'll say name brand suit, right? Designer suit, $3,000, right? Then maybe he'll hop in a car and they'll say luxury car, $200,000. Then he pulls up to a luxury house, right? Then that luxury says luxury house, $1.2 million, right? Now the best part of the commercial is actually the end. So usually that same guy who'll drive around and finally he'll park at a baseball game and it'll say spending valuable time with your kids or watching your kid hit his first home run is priceless. And that's like the greatest commercial ever to me because that's so true. It's so true to life, right? So we need to identify what things that we take for granted every day that are in fact priceless, like telling your parents that you love them, spending time with your kids and watching them grow, having a loved one that actually loves you for you and not for your money or your status, right? And finally, discovering what your true life purpose is, okay? Now, a great example of this was about a week ago, right? It was when Harvey Weinstein was sentenced for 23 years, right? And the biggest lesson that stood out to me was not that justice was finally served or being served, but it was what he actually said in his final statements before his sentencing, right? And he basically said that if he can do it all over again, or if he can go back and relive his life, that he would care less about the movie business and making movies and care more about his children and his family, right? Now, keep in mind that this is a man that at one point was at the top of the show business. He was the top of Hollywood. He was a powerful movie producer. His movies were winning Oscars. He was in the in crowd. He was hanging around celebrities. He had unlimited access, right? So this is the same guy that was at the top of the world, right? And that's the thing about life. You can be up here today, but tomorrow you can be down here. Life's like a roller coaster. So it's not about what's going on when you're up here. It's about when you're at your lowest, right? Because that's when you see who your real friends are. That's when you're down. That's when your enemies will try to kick you, or your so-called friends that you thought were your friends are actually your frenemies that kick you when you're down, right? So basically, back to the point is that there's certain things that are priceless, right? That are more priceless. And this is a guy who a lot of people thought he was the man, and a lot of people were envious of his lifestyle and would have traded for his life like that, right? Some people would have sold their soul just to have that amount of power in Hollywood and stuff like that, right? So keep that in mind, okay? So that was number one. Number two, your health is your wealth, okay? Now, what does that mean? Well, your body is your most important possession you have, right? If you don't believe me, just ask Steve Jobs, right? For those of you who don't know, he's the founder of Apple, right? He's the reason why you have an iPhone and, iTunes and all that good stuff, right? Basically, he's the founder, and he died of cancer in 2011, right? At the young age of 56. Now, some young folks are saying 56, oh, that's not young. Well, it's not old either, okay? I don't know about you, but I want to live till I'm at least like 80, right? So 56, he still had a lot of potential life left. But point of the matter is he died way too soon after building this epic company, right? And if you think about it, actually, I pulled up the research. If Steve Jobs was alive today, his net worth would have been around $31.6 billion, right? So now I have a question for you, right? Because obviously all that money, you can't take it with you when you die, right? And so my question to you is, when he died, what happened to all that money and that wealth? I'll tell you what happened to it. This is what happens when you die. I don't care how much money you have, right? All that money you have or had, someone's going to be spending that money. All those nice luxury cars you had, someone's going to be driving them cars. So that big old mansion you had, somebody gonna be sleeping in your bed, right? That's just the way it is, right? That's why we can't put all of our value on these materialistic things that are short term, right? And life is short and temporary. So we need to focus on the things that are going to last us after we die, okay? In fact, there's a good scripture in the book of James, chapter 4, verse 14. It says, "For what is your life? It is a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away." So what does that mean? Is that your life is short. Our time on this earth is basically like a vapor. 1 second here, poof, next second you're gone, right? Just like that, vapor, right? So, which brings me to my third tip or third point, right? So, number 3, focus on building things that will outlast you and stand the test of time. Okay? What did you contribute? What did you contribute to this world? Did you make a positive impact on this world? Did you serve others? Did you teach your kids and the next generation the truth and realities of life? Did you contribute to solving a global issue like extreme poverty, pollution, human trafficking, diseases, world hunger, etc.? Right? So think about it. When you on, let's think about this. Right? This I want to paint a picture for you. All right, go with me here. When you're on your deathbed, taking your final breath, because we all gonna die. All right, that's just the fact of the matter. If some of you didn't realize that, well, here's a news flash. Okay, we're all gonna die one day. And when in your last moments, right? Come with me here. On your last moment, when you're on your deathbed, are you really going to be thinking about how much money is sitting in your bank account? Or are you going to be thinking about your family, friends, and loved ones? Right? So to review, the 3 ways to help us find happiness no matter how much money you have is: number 1, recognize the things in your life that are priceless. Number 2, your health is your wealth. Your health and your body are the most important possessions you have. And number 3, focus on building things that will outlast you and stand the test of time. Okay? So to sum it up, the key is to try to find happiness around you at every stage of your life, right? Recognizing how blessed you are while you're still on the grind, on the come up, and finding beauty while you're still in the trenches, all right? Because life is about the journey, not the destination, okay? And in closing, you are priceless. Remember that there's only one of you in the entire world, which means that not only are you 1 in a million, but you're actually about 1 in about 8 billion. So think on that, all right? So go ahead, like and share this video, and remember to please subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll be notified when I drop my next video. So this is your boy, Banny Karoma Jr. I love you. I pray that you have a safe, blessed, and corona-free week, and I look forward to seeing you again on Friday. All right? Peace.